So when Florida, Ohio, Arizona, etc., were considering doing their primaries in the middle of March, I said that it was a really bad idea. I don't know if I was one of the first to say it, probably, but it doesn't really matter. And I said, look, we're now officially in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. And if everybody goes and stands in line next to one another, and then they all touch the same touch screens in a lot of the cases, that's a disaster waiting to happen. And I put that on Twitter, and of course, the establishment attacked me. And they said, "Oh, Cenk, you're trying to delay the election for Bernie Sanders. No, we're going to vote right away. Joe Biden's winning. Okay, you're not going to be able to delay it." I said, "Look, guys, I don't know who comes out ahead. Joe Biden has a giant lead in Florida, for example. I don't know that delaying it, at the time, we had no idea how long we'd have to delay it if we did delay it. I don't know that that helps Bernie at all. And older people are affected by coronavirus more. And so an older voter vote for Biden more. So it might even hurt Bernie Sanders if you delay the election. It might help Biden I don't know. I have no idea, but I don't think it's safe. And I don't know why. Maybe because we used to be friends. The one that really got under my skin was Soledad O'Brien, who's been constantly tweeting against me. I don't know what I ever did. I guess I get, to be fair to them, I probably get under their skin because I point out things that are true and hypocritical of the establishment, and they take it personally because it is hypocritical. So anyway, in this particular case, she said, "Oh, let's note this one for the record," something along those lines. Okay, well, we've noted it for the record. So poll workers have gotten sick in Florida. They have coronavirus. So it's in Duval County, at least one county that we know of. It might be in a lot more, but for now, that's all we know. And one poll worker tested positive. And if you were in this area, please get yourself tested. I say, on the other hand, you might not be able to because there's not enough test kits in the country. But if you were here, they've got to get you a test kit. So it was in the Mandarin precinct obviously for the March 17th primary. It was at precinct 608 that was located at the Freedom Christian Fellowship Church on Loretta Road. First one poll worker tested positive. Now it's up to 3 that have tested positive. You know why? Because it's incredibly contagious. So they were probably working next to each other. One of them was sick. They didn't know it. And to be fair, the poll workers didn't do anything wrong. The first person that tested positive didn't get symptoms until 6 days after the election. Again, this is what we talked about before they did the election. The incubation period is monstrously long. You might not have symptoms for 10 days before you know that you have coronavirus. So you're carrying around, contaminating everybody for all that time and not knowing that you've got it. And so that seems to be what happened here. I don't know if she contaminated, or she or he, I don't know. They haven't released identity, nor should they. Again, the person did nothing wrong at all. So not only are they asking the poll workers to get themselves tested, because 3 of them are already sick, and a lot of the poll workers are senior citizens. So this is an absolute disaster, and exactly what we talked about before the election. And we talked about not only are the voters senior citizens, but a lot of the poll workers are. You're putting people in grave danger. No, the establishment, we've got to wrap this up, No, Biden's going to win. Go rush, vote. And Bernie at the time, I remember checking the tweets because I was worried that something like this was going to happen. Bernie was telling everybody, be cautious, vote by mail if you can, etc. And Biden, a little note of caution here and there, but overall the campaign was like, go out and vote, go. Who cares? Go. Now we yell at Trump, and we were 1,000% right to yell at Trump. But this happened too. Now, of course, they got to reach out to all the voters who interacted with those poll workers. So there's at least 360 people in that precinct. They got to go try to find them and make sure they get tested. Look, on this show, I don't care what anyone else does. We give credit where credit is due, and we do our absolute best to bring you the truth. And no matter what, we're honest with you. So I beat up on Republicans for a living, but Mike DeWine, the governor of Ohio, did the right thing here. He postponed the election, and so again, I have friends, allies in a lot of these elections, but I have no idea which way he's going to cut. So Morgan Harper has got her election in Ohio. She's up against a Democratic incumbent. By the way, some progressives in Congress should endorse her. Anyway, she's a wonderful, just Democrat, uncorrupted, awesome progressive, etc. But I don't know if she would have won if they had the election that day, or if she'll win if they have the election another day, or if she'd win on either one of those days. But I do know I didn't want people in Ohio to get sick. And so, unfortunately, they have. And so it's not, it's just frustrating, guys. So DeWine, in that case, the Republican governor, there was nothing on the line for Republicans as far as I can tell. He did it for safety, and the court said, no, go forward with elections. And DeWine basically said, no, I'm just not going to. Okay. And that's a dangerous thing to not listen to the courts. And I understand and appreciate that. But at the same time, turns out he made the right call. So I hope it's only those couple of folks affected in Florida. But if it's more people and it's in other states, epic disaster. And especially in Florida where there's so many senior citizens. So last thing on it, I guess, is that people are these days, maybe all days, are so biased that they project their bias onto others. And they think, well, if I am desperate to have Joe Biden win under any and all circumstances, Cenk and other progressives must be desperate to have Bernie win under any and all circumstances. So I'm never going to take their words seriously. I'm just going to assume that they're bad actors, bad faith actors, and I'm going to, project my views onto them, my bias onto them, and assume they're reacting in that way. So look, for everybody who told everybody to go rush out and vote on March 17th and not listen to folks who were concerned, are the people who are sick now ever going to get an apology from them? We do. Like, it's irrelevant what the progressives thought or what pundits thought, etc., me included. But those folks who got sick and you told them to go do that. And also DeSantis, who Trump loves to pump up, the Republican governor of Florida. If I'm giving credit to Republican Governor DeWine, I'm taking credit away from DeSantis. You shouldn't have held those elections. It was a health hazard. You can't say no one could have known, because some of us knew and we're not that bright. So it was fairly obvious at that late date. And it's a damn shame that they ignored all the warnings and went forward for the sake of convenience, whether it was a Republican governor who went forward or for the sake of my guy's going to win if it was the Democratic establishment. And at the end of the day, if they held him a month from now, I doubt it would make a difference. But at least those folks wouldn't be sick. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you soon.